Hi, my name is Joe Inslee, and I am really excited to be starting in on a series that you, my followers and subscribers, have asked me to do. And I am just thrilled to begin Biblical Characters of the Bible, Homegirl Edition. Before I jump right into my first character, go ahead and put in the comments who your favorite woman of the Bible is, like my video, and subscribe to the channel. The first homegirl we're going to look at in this series is Abigail. You can find the story of Abigail in 1 Samuel chapter 25. She's the wife of a man named Nabal, and she's described as sensible and attractive and discerning later on in the story. Let me tell you why Abigail is one of my all-time favorites when it comes to homegirls of the Bible. Abigail lived in a terrible time in history. It's super patriarchal. And the first thing the text tells us about Abigail is that she was married to a worthless man. You got to realize this guy has his name in the Bible, and God says this is a worthless man.
Cameras caught this Mets fan giving a thumbs down.
So obviously, she's probably got some marriage issues that she has to work through. Now, King David is the other character in the story, and King David is in the middle of a political mess, right? He's been anointed king, but he's not king yet. There's all kinds of problems, and he's going through, and he's kind of doing this thing with his army where they're running around and trying not to get killed and waiting for the Lord to do what the Lord's going to do. And they go up and they find this guy, and he's shearing his sheep. And so David and his army take it upon themselves to take care of this guy's sheep shearers. And so they guard his shepherds and their sheep while they do this process. They make sure nobody hurts them, bothers them, does all this stuff. And then David sends a message to Nabal, which is Abigail's husband, and he says,
"Hey, we have taken really good care of your guys, but now we're super hungry, so can you pass us the lunch, bro?"
Nabal sends his messengers back to David with the equivalent of cultural slang that's derogatory towards what David's doing. Basically, the answer is, no, bro, you don't mean nothing to me. So then David decides, I got a sword, I'm just going to go chop his head off, and then we'll call it even. So David starts heading over to deal with Nabal, and Abigail sees what's happening. And then here's the cool story of Abigail. And you really need to just go to the Bible and read this passage yourself, and I hope you read it with some fresh eyes and you see what's happening. But what you will see is a true heroine. You will see Abigail standing with one hand up against a worthless, foolish, crazy man, and the other hand up against an angry man intent on getting revenge for being wronged. Abigail is the discerning voice in a hot, crazy situation, and she literally pacifies David and takes care of her husband and gets the situation sorted out where it's all going to be okay. What would have been an impossible situation where two crazy dudes are just going at each other, Abigail stands in the gap. She's actually the most capable leader in the situation, and I love that about her. Now the story goes on to tell us that there's a feast, and Nabal's still a worthless dude, and he won't change his mind. He doesn't want to do what God wants to do, so God says, let's take out Nabal. Says that God just killed Nabal, took care of him. After Nabal is killed, David decides to marry Abigail. So Abigail becomes David's wife. And for a lot of us, that's where the story ends. And we don't really think about Abigail much more after that. But Abigail actually goes through some more things in her marriage with David. First of all, David has a fortress at Ziklag. And that fortress is raided, and they take away some captives, and Abigail is one of those captives. David goes after Abigail, rescues her and all the other captives, and saves her. So she gets to pull off this whole damsel in distress deal with the king too. That's pretty cool. When all the wilderness and political mess has been sorted out, and David becomes the rightful king of Israel, Abigail is at his side when he gets the crown of Israel.